Hello, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard this flight. Make sure that you have your snacks ready. The flight will take approximately 30 minutes and we hope you enjoy your stay. Thank you. Welcome to Minecraft Ocean Only. So if you don't know what this is, it's pretty much a world where there's just water everywhere and there is no land whatsoever. So the only way to get wood pretty much is from the shipwrecks or going to the Nether. And yes, of course, this is in hardcore. And before we start the video, I'd like to thank Apex Hosting for sponsoring this video. So if you want some cheap servers, make sure to use my link in the top of the description below. And anyway, hope you enjoy the video. And on day one, I spawned into this magnificent blue world, and like you know, there is no trees on here, so I had to pretty much get my wood from this shipwreck, but I quickly abandoned that idea because I could not mine in time. It was horrible. Trying to mine a ship with no tools, and yeah, it was just taking forever, so I decided to give up on that. I went to look for the chest as well, but I couldn't find it. So after that, I was pretty much just exploring the whole world forever. It took me forever to find another shipwreck that was a bit higher. By that, I mean just a little bit closer to the surface so I can actually have time to mine the wood. Because, yeah, every time I tried mining it, I would just take damage instantly. But after I found this pretty cool coral reef, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. And shortly after, I found another shipwreck, which only had 2 chests inside for some reason, and only a bit of armor, and it did actually have a treasure map though, which was going to come in very, very handy. And shortly after, I did come across this Nether portal as well, so I swam down there quickly. Got shot by a, what they called a trident? I think they're a trident, but anyway, I had to swim out of there really quickly. And actually after that I did find another shipwreck, which was a lot closer to the surface, but not just that, it had some doorways in this, so I could mine the wood pretty easily, so that was really, really cool. And I decided with that wood to craft myself a boat and also a iron axe. I think that would come in really, really handy to cut down some of these boats. So after that I decided to go and look for this treasure chest, and it didn't take too long actually, especially like it's just a ocean only world. So after a little while of searching around the area for this treasure map, I finally found it. So after that I did use the coordinate trick, like with the chunks. So I made sure I was on 9, 9 and 9 and just swam all the way down, and then you land directly on top of the chest. So that's a cool little trick, and inside it I found 2 diamonds. So that was pretty awesome. And of course I did keep the chest because, as you know, wood is going to be very hard to come by in this world. But after that, to finish off the night, I decided to find some shipwrecks just so I can collect a bit more wood. And on day 2, I decided to find myself a nice little coral reef to live by. I wanted to live somewhere really nice and colourful, so I decided to pick this little coral reef right here. And actually it was quite close to a bunch of little sand as well that would come in handy. So after that I decided to go underground and start on digging myself some cobblestone. But unfortunately these guys tried to prevent me from doing that. But after that I crafted my first pickaxe, which was a diamond pickaxe. That was pretty much almost a first for me in Minecraft, I think. But shortly after I decided to collect some cobblestone to make myself a little platform. And after choosing where I wanted to live, I decided to build a little pillar that went all the way back up to the surface so I could make myself a little platform on the surface made out of cobblestone. And after that, I decided to scout around my little area to see if there was anything around here that was worth looking at. And I did come across another portal, but unfortunately it was guarded by way too many people, so I decided to not go down there. But after that, I noticed, wow, the stronghold was right next to my house, which was absolutely insane. So I decided to go in there and explore it a little bit. Came across some silverfish, so that only meant one thing, the spawner. Unfortunately, it did not have any ender eyes, but it also did have a library though, which would come in very handy for some books for the enchanting later on. But the enchanted books were pretty insane, so we had some pretty good ones. The silk touch was the best one because I was hoping to find some grass. But after that, I did collect some of the books so that I could already get started on the enchanting area. And on day 3, I decided to do a bit more exploring. As you can tell, I was struggling with that button as well. But yeah, I wanted to explore a bit more of the stronghold. I wanted to clear it all out, see if there was another library. But after that, I kept hearing a bunch of sounds. So I went down there, found another part of the stronghold. But there was so many mobs. It was insane. Maybe because it was an ocean-only world and they couldn't spawn anywhere else. But I did find my first enderman, which was so loud. But I was hoping that he would give me my first ender pearl. But unfortunately, after fighting him, he did not give me an ender pearl. After the little enderman fight, I found this guy stuck in a hole here. But what is this area called, guys? I'd like that to know that in the comments if you could. But for some reason, it was filled with creepers. There was just so many, so I had to kill them very slowly. Especially I didn't have full armor yet. But look at this. There was just so many creepers and monsters. It was insane. I had also run out of torches, so I decided to grab a bit of coal. But I also heard a bunch of zombies, and look what I found. A zombie spawner right underneath the stronghold. This was pretty much at the surface. But after exploring a little bit of the cave, there was another spawner right next to it. Like, it was only a few blocks away, and I found a golden enchanted apple, which was absolutely insane. And on day 4, after clearing my inventory, I decided to go mining again because I really wanted to get some dirt. So I got a bunch of dirt because I wanted to make a farm with all the carrots I got, and that took up the majority of the day. So after that, I arrived back at night and the phantom spawned, unfortunately. I was a bit worried about this because they took quite a while to kill, and I was quite scared because I didn't have full health yet. But yeah, it didn't take too long, but I did manage to kill all of them in the end, even though they were so loud. And this guy did get stuck in my boat. That I found quite funny, but after he managed to escape. But that was pretty much it. And I did get a phantom membrane, which would come in very handy for the ender dragon fight. Oh yeah, and I did make a bed with the cobwebs that are in the stronghold. And on day 5 to 7, I started by making a platform out of dirt so that I could finally plant some crops down, because I was going to run out of food really quickly, which I already did actually. I was using rotten flesh at this point. But yeah, I decided to plant down some of the carrots that I found in the shipwrecks. After that, I decided to go mining because we had no iron whatsoever. Don't know why I didn't go for the coal. I should have went for the coal. I always do that mistake. But after that, I found this ravine underwater, which was absolutely cool. And I found some diamonds, which was insane. Or found some diamonds. I think I only found one, was it? Or two? Yeah, I think it was only one. But anyway, I did find some gold as well in the end. And pretty much after that, I just went back to the surface because you go straight there. And I just went home. And on day 8 to 9, I pretty much started on a nether portal because I really needed wood and I knew that would be a good way to get wood, but I did actually forget my obsidian after doing that. So I eventually made my nether portal and we went straight into the nether, which was actually quite worrying because I did not want to die. Especially I didn't even realise that I didn't make iron armor yet. I don't know how I did not realise that, but I did end up here, which wasn't too good. But eventually I saw the crimson forest in the distance, which was awesome. But the ghast was saying other words. He did not want me to go to that crimson forest, so I tried to hit it back, but eventually I did get it. By the way, I did have to edit this a lot because it took forever for me to get this ghast. For some reason I just could not hit it, but eventually I did get it. After that, I did decide to protect my nether portal just in case another one would spawn. But I did also see that there was these bone blocks, and I always love mining these. It's so satisfying. After that, I decided to go across to the Crimson Forest because I needed some of the wood. Just so I could make some chests and just basic stuff, really. Oh yeah, and these two guys spawned, which I was so scared about at this point. I had to eat my golden apple because I was quite low on health. And I also didn't have any full iron armor yet. But after that, I decided to just run across my little platform and I eventually made it back home. And on day 10 to 14, I started off the days by farming a little bit with the bone blocks that I got, made them into bone meal, and I also came across this cute little guy underneath my house. And after that, I decided to start on a XP farm with the zombie spawner. It wasn't just going to be an XP farm, it was also so I can get some potatoes. Because if you guys didn't know, zombies do drop potatoes occasionally, if you're lucky. They also drop iron, I believe, and some tools. And if you're wondering why it took so long, it's because having to make these elevators underwater was such a pain. I kept having to stop, place the door down, and get some oxygen again. It was just taking forever. But after that, I finally managed to make my way all the way down to the zombie spawner so I could start on the elevator. Didn't take too long to finish up, and then after that I pretty much finished the zombie spawner. So I blocked everything off and hoped that zombies would spawn. So I made a little area where I could kill them from, and it did not take long at all. Whilst I was building it, loads of zombies fell. And on day 15 I AFK'd inside the zombie spawner and it was working very, very well. I actually even got a potato, which I did not realise I had. And on day 16 to 17, you guessed it, I started on farming some potatoes because I needed potatoes. I didn't want to live on carrots for the rest of my life. So after that, I decided to craft 2 iron pickaxes because my diamond one was about to break, just so I can go and do some strip mining. And the reason why it took so long is because I easily get distracted in this game, so I ended up back in the stronghold and I started to explore it a little bit further. But also, that zombie did save my life, which I found really funny. And eventually I found another ravine that was underwater, which I find are so easy to go through because there's no mobs, nothing, like there's just water everywhere. And there was some more diamonds, which was so good. But these ones were a lot better because there wasn't just one this time, there was 6. Also, I came across this secret door, I guess. You had to break the blocks and then you'd finally find the door. And there was a little guy inside there that came sprinting out afterwards. But I easily dealt with him. There was also another library with, actually it had some some iron pants inside. But the library was only 1 level tall. I always thought that there was always 2 levels to these. So I looked everywhere. So I went up and I also mined underneath, but I just couldn't find it. So I'm guessing it just didn't spawn. After that, I found another Enderman, so I decided to kill him to try to get another Ender Pearl, but unfortunately I didn't get one. But I did find another Enderman, and guess what? No Pearl again. And on day 18 to 19, I finally made a full iron set. Well, I did have the golden boots, but that's because I was going to the Nether. So I crafted myself a bow before we went, because I want to get some trading going. Also, I was already at a level 30 at this point, so after that, we was going to have to do some enchanting. So unfortunately, there was a lot of these guys, and my shield actually broke. So after fighting this guy, well, actually abandoning the fight because I thought it was going to kill me, I decided to run back home to craft myself another shield. After I got my shield, I went straight back into the Nether, and I thought I was being smart with these guys, and then they hit me off, and at this point, I was panicking. This was so scary. I thought I was going to die, because look how many of these guys there were. I really thought I was dead at that point. But I managed to pillar up, and... oh, I thought I was safe, but no! The ghast decides to attack me whilst I'm pillaring up. After running away, completely scared, I finally managed to kill the ghast by sending a fireball back into him. But after I finally managed to get a bit of peace so I could actually do some trading. But after, like it is always dangerous in this area, I was always getting attacked by these guys. I keep forgetting their name, but I think they're piglins or zoglins, I'm not too sure. But like I was waiting for them guys to trade, I was also collecting some wood, and after that I went straight back home. And on day 20 to 24, I started off by crafting myself some bookshelves so that we can get some enchanting going. I also did make the enchanting table, of course, and I did have 30 levels, so I decided to place the enchanting setup next to the zombie spawner. I think it'd be a lot more handy if it was there. So unfortunately, I realized that I did not have enough bookshelves. I always do that for some reason. So I went to craft 2 more and then went back to enchant my first tool, which was going to be a diamond pickaxe, which is what I thought I wanted at first, but then I went for a bow because it had power 4, but guess what? I only got power 4, so that sucked. After that, I decided to do some AFKing to get a few more levels, and then all of a sudden, whilst I was AFK, I heard a chicken. And there was this guy, just outside, so I'm guessing it was a zombie that was mounted on this guy, and he died from the full damage or something. And this guy was just roaming around. I thought he wanted to go back up with his friends, but I decided to go straight back home because I knew I had a name tag, so I was hoping he wouldn't despawn, but when I came back, he was gone. It was so sad. It was the saddest time of this world. But eventually, I did manage to get myself another pickaxe. Well, my first pickaxe that I enchanted. But I wasn't happy with efficiency 4, so I decided to get rid of the enchant and do another enchant instead. But this time I got Unbreaking 3 and efficiency 4, which was a lot better. Shortly after though, another chicken was here. So this was insane. I was so happy. This time I wanted to make sure I wouldn't hit the zombies before I hit the chicken. But I did manage to name him straight away, and I chose Boris. That was his name. His name was Boris. And as you can tell, I was extremely happy to have my new friend Boris. And to conclude day 24, I done another enchant, looting 3 and sharpness 4. And unfortunately, on day 25 to 29, I did not record myself getting a fortune 3 pickaxe or my enchanted diamond boots. The diamond boots are only like depth strider 3, I think that was all they were. They were really, really bad. But after that, I decided to do a bit of mining to hope to get some diamonds so that I can make some armor. It didn't take too long, but I did eventually find a underwater cave again, and inside that cave were some diamonds. And I also found some whilst I was strip mining as well. And after finding some more diamonds, that pretty much concluded day 25 to 29. And on day 30 to 31, I started off the day by crafting myself some diamond armor. So I crafted everything that I needed. I only needed a helmet, chest plate, and some pants. And then I had full diamond armor. And I decided to spend the rest of the 2 days pretty much just enchanting it all. And I also tried getting this guy's trident with my looting free, but unfortunately I did not get it. After that, I decided to smelt up some of my stuff to eventually get 30 more levels. And with that iron, I also crafted a stone cutter because I was going to start on my main base. So for that, I needed to go straight back to the Nether and find a bunch of blackstone because I was going to make a ship, a pirate ship, but I was going to make it out of blackstone bricks instead of wood because, as you know, there is not a lot of wood around. And I also went to ancient debris level in hopes to find some, and eventually it did not take long at all and I did find some. Oh yeah, and I also did manage to burn myself with lava, which was actually quite scary. I don't know why I was so scared, but I was. But eventually I found some more ancient debris as well. And after collecting all the ancient debris and the stone bricks I could, I went straight back home. And on day 32 to 36, I started on building my pirate ship. So I did not know that this was going to take so long, but it took forever to build because I was like half following a tutorial and half not. So it just took for absolutely forever, but this is how it turned out pretty much. And on day 37 to 38, I realised that I did not have enough wood. So also before we went to the Nether, I decided to go and enchant my diamond leggings. And I only got protection 3, unfortunately, but I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, after that, I decided to go to the Nether after staring at my boat from a distance and realising that this was going to take for absolutely forever to build. But yeah, I decided to go to Nether and collect a bunch of warped wood, is it? I think that's what it's called. I'm not too sure, but I think that is what it's called. After that, I came across an enderman, but this time I did have some ender pearls. Well, I came across 2 endermen actually, but this guy was in the way, so I had to kill him first. But eventually I killed the other enderman as well, which gave me a bunch of ender pearls. And that was pretty much it for day 38. And on day 39 to 51, yes, I know that is a lot of days. It's because it took forever for me to build because I was watching a tutorial on how to build it. So it was extremely slow. And I didn't realise, but in survival, this was so long to build because it took so much resources. I had to go to the Nether a few times just to get a few more resources. On day 51 to 52, like I mentioned, I kept having to go back to the Nether to get a bunch of resources, so this was one of them. But I did manage to come across a lot of ancient debris, which was really handy. And after collecting a bunch of blackstone and killing a enderman for some ender pearls, I headed straight back home for a good night's rest. And on day 53 to 55, I crafted up some polished bricks and I managed to pretty much finish the main part of the ship. Oh yeah, and I also managed to start on the masts of the ship. So this is where the sails would go onto. So this wasn't the main one. The main one would go in the center, but I managed to do this one and I was really happy how it looked. And I also had to finish off the day with some farming. And on day 56 to 58, we started off the day by going to collect so much wood. I knew I was going to need a lot of wood to do these masts. Also, I kept getting distracted by these guys. Well, they kept attacking me, so unfortunately I had to stop my wood chopping and attack these guys. But eventually I managed to finish my first mast, which was so cool. I was so pleased how it turned out as well. Especially I was worried because I was using this warped wood, this pink wood really. So I thought, oh, it might not turn out too good, but it did. But I quickly ran out of wood again, so I had to go straight back to Nether and go collect a bunch more wood. And on day 59 to 61, I finished off the main mast and I also started on the rear one. This took quite a bit of time to build because the tutorial was quite complicated on this part because they were all at different heights and all that. But after that, I decided to see what a sail would look like out of andesite and I was not happy with that at all. So I thought, good idea, let's use quartz. Get some fortune. With the fortune pickaxe, I mean, we can get so much quartz, I thought. That's what I intentionally thought in the beginning. But also, my pickaxe would break so easily. So I decided to enchant another pickaxe and I got another Unbreaking 3 efficiency 4, which was perfect. Oh, and I did enchant my helmet, which was pretty trash. But yeah, after that I replaced the andesite with some quartz and yeah, I was liking how it looked. I really liked the white against the pink. I thought it looked really good. But unfortunately, I didn't realize how many blocks this was going to take. After this was like 4 stacks, I think. But it did look really good, I'm not going to lie. And on day 63 to 64, I went to the Nether to go collect some more quartz for the sails. It didn't take too long to find quartz, but unfortunately it did use up a lot of the durability in my pickaxe. But eventually I finally realized, why don't I just make concrete? And on day 65, I started off the day with a shovel enchant. I got silk touch and efficiency 4, which was really good. After that, I decided to try to finally find a end fortress so I can get some blaze rods going. And it took forever to find one, but before finding one, I did find a Bastion, which was so cool. It was right next to the portal, actually. I didn't realize how close it was. But eventually, I managed to kill off most of these guys. They did scare me at this moment here because I thought they were going to be able to jump across, but for some reason, they couldn't jump up here. Not going to lie, though, I was not complaining at this point. But after killing off all these guys, I eventually made it down to the main loot area. So I found a bit of Nether scrap here. So I was really happy with that. So that would help with another armor piece. And also, there was so much gold blocks down here. Like, there was just so many. So this was going to be really handy for trading as well. And I did find another piece of ancient debris inside the other chests. The other loot wasn't too good. Just a bunch of gold stuff, really. But eventually, I found this guy and I decided to trade with him. But the ghast was not happy at all. So he shot him. And after this little fight, I finally managed to find, guess what? Another Bastion. It was like, I don't know, how many can I find of these? It was just insane. I found 2, but I guess I did travel a lot. I think I traveled like over 1,500 blocks, if I'm not mistaken. I even got the achievement for going through all the biomes inside the Nether. After that, I found a blaze spawner, but for some reason they wouldn't spawn that quickly. Well, I do know the reason, actually. There was another spawner behind this one with withers and everything in it. So it was a bit scary. After that, to get back home, I decided to make another portal that would lead me back to the overworld, and I was hoping that I could find a shipwreck really close. And on day 77 to day 80, I spent most of the first few days actually just looking for a shipwreck, but eventually I found one, so I made myself a boat and set off to try to find my home. Eventually, I saw my beautiful little ship and I knew I made it. And that was it for day 80. And on day 81, I got woken up by this guy. As soon as I woke up, this guy was already next to my bed. So I decided to go and check and make sure that there wasn't too many other mobs. But there was quite a few actually on top of my ship. I guess they were trying to take over my ship and sail away whilst I was gone. I also made some water breathing potions so I can collect some sand underwater easily. And I also turned all my ancient debris into some netherite ingots. And after that, of course, I turned all my armor into netherite armor. And as you could guess, I bet you knew that I was going to be very happy with having full Netherite armor. After that, I decided to go and collect a bunch of sand so I could start on making some white concrete. And on day 82, I pretty much spent the whole day just crafting up some white concrete powder and then turning all of that into some solid concrete blocks. It was actually quite fun because then I'd make a huge pillar and then jump off the top, which was absolutely so fun. But after that, that's pretty much all I did. And on day 83 to 85, I completely got rid of the quartz sail, which I did not know that quartz actually broke so quickly. And then I replaced it all with some white concrete, which actually turned out a lot better than quartz. So I managed to actually do the first sail, which I was so pleased about. After that, on day 86 to 88, I went to the Nether to get a bunch of gravel, and I also actually enchanted myself another shovel and made a bunch of white concrete powder, with which I just turned all into concrete blocks again. And on day 89, I actually moved all of my stuff into the ship because I was fed up of using that little platform underneath. It didn't take too long, really. Well, most of the day, actually, it kind of did take long. But after that, I did turn my diamond helmet into a Netherite one, and I was extremely pleased with it at this point. And on day 90 to 95, I completely finished building the ship. So I'd done a few more little details. I also deleted the main platform and added that little ladder. I also put the farm in the little, I don't know how you call this, like in the bottom of the ship, the hull. I'm not too sure what it's called actually. But yeah, I put it all down below, and I also finished up all of the sails that pretty much completed the whole boat. And on day 96 to 97, I pretty much spent the last 2 days just pretty much farming up and getting ready for the Ender Dragon fight. So I quickly stopped the idea of trying to farm at the skeleton spawner for some arrows. So instead I went to do some trading instead. And I actually came out with quite a lot of loot. So after that, I pretty much just finished off and cleared all my inventory and just got everything ready. So I've done a bunch of potion brewing. I've got some slow falling, some regen, and some strength potions. Unfortunately, I did not have any glowstone to make some level 2 strength potions, but I went to go say goodbye to Boris just in case I didn't see him again. And even though my skin looks happy, I wasn't happy. I was quite worried just in case I wouldn't see him again. And on day 98, it was time. It was time to go and defeat the Ender Dragon. I got ready, geared up. I've been preparing for so long, and it was time. As soon as I spawned, I realized I was kind of in a good position. I just had to mine my way through the end stone, drink my potions, and start to shoot out the end crystals. After that, I quickly had to pillar up to get the last few crystals because I couldn't reach them. After I deleted these 2, I just jumped off, shot this, and went in for the kill. I collected the dragon's breath as a little memory of who I defeated. After that, I shot it so many times whilst it was flying by, doing a lot of damage. After shooting it so many times, it was time to go in for the kill with my sword. I rushed to the center and killed the Ender Dragon. I was even rewarded for killing this ginormous beast with loads of experience. After that, I collected my trophy, and it was time to head back home. This was such a challenging video to make. This ocean only world is actually really hard but really fun. I highly recommend you try it out yourselves. The link of the download will be in the description below. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.